Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. My back is still giving me the fits. So please bear with me if I get all wincy faced or whatever, but I decided today the show must go on because you know what? Sometimes these pains that we have, they're not just medical. And I know this is filled with emotions, with a lot of things that I need to get rid of. A lot of things I need to get rid of. But also emotions that can just kind of boggle your mind and just kind of freeze you in your own space until you figure out how to get rid of it. And I kind of attributed this back pain to it because I can kind of figure out the source of it, which was very, very emotional. And today feels like the right day to just whack it out and get it off of me and out of me and all that stuff. Today is self-love lesson number 12. And when you hear the lesson, it's going to feel kind of ironic because today, 8 years ago, my mother passed away. And I'm doing okay right now, but you know, it comes in waves, right? But so much has changed and happened in my life since then. I mean, changed in me. And yeah, I thought today was a day I really did not want to skip the perspective because I feel like today's message is super duper important regardless of what it is that we're going through. Okay, so let's do the self-love card first. Ownership. I take ownership for how I make others feel and I do my part to repair any bridges. Oh, let me start that again. I take ownership for how I make others feel, and I do my part to repair any bridges I might have burned, or perhaps even slightly singed. If bridge mending feels impossible, then I can start small. Instead of becoming a bridge architect, maybe I'll just skip the bridge and walk the long way around. Taking ownership is great for burning calories. Taking ownership is accountability in any type of relationship is everything, you know, and a lot of times we forget to do that, or a lot of times we're so lost in our own trauma or victimhood or whatever that we lose sight of the actual goal. And that can be rough. That can be very hard. And then when you come back around after you've kind of made an asshole out of yourself, you're just nervous, and it's hard to take accountability because you feel so responsible or you feel so ashamed or embarrassed. Let me tell you now, if you want relationships to work, and this isn't just love relationships, if you want any relationship across the board to work, you have to learn to take accountability. You have to learn to communicate when you're wrong. You have to learn to just say, you know what, I goofed and I'm sorry. And it's not easy for me to say. I'm very ashamed. I have had to do this myself. I have had to, when, you know, I've been the kind of person that hurt people, and I have been a hurt person that has hurt people, and it's not something I'm proud of, but it was also part of my healing process. It was also part of the process and the journey I had to take to become a more well-rounded person and to understand myself better and why I do some of the things that I used to do. And you know, when I heard the term hurt people, it clicked so big in my mind. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know what? That's really the basis of what most of it is. You know, the trolls online, you don't know what they're going through, but they want to lash out. They want to hurt people, you know? And so the best thing we can do is, you know, just ignore the naysayers. I mean, if it's someone you know, just say, you know what? Is there something that's going on with you? Sometimes when we don't become combative or defensive back, we might actually be able to help them get to the bottom line of what their issue might be. And I know it's not always that simple. I know it's not always that cut and dry, but if you were in a situation where you can do that, just give it a try, you know. And you also have the number one option. You have the option to walk away, because you also don't need that kind of negativity and that kind of pain in your life. You know, you don't need people bringing you down if they're not going to take accountability for their own lives. Okay, so let's get to the lesson, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to last here. I'm in some serious pain. So, as it turns out, Friday was my 200th episode of the Aloha Perspective. Not of the original set, but once I got to the Aloha Perspective, I kind of hit the reset button and decided to start all over. So, believe it or not, November 8th is going to be the year anniversary of the Aloha Perspective. So, yeah, so lesson number 12. And this is what I mean by ironic, considering what today is to me. What things make you happy to feel alive? What things make you happy to feel alive? Being alive. Being alive. I have faced death one too many times. Once, not my fault. I had heart surgery. But the other times, they were choices I had made. And they were choices and things I had to face. But for me, what things make you happy to feel alive? The things that make me feel happy to be alive, like I said, just being alive. You know, there are a lot of gifts that I have. And I was talking to baby sibling over the weekend, and she was even telling me, you have to have more faith in yourself. And she's right, I do. I have a lot of incredible gifts, and I don't give myself enough credit for the way I've been able to utilize them, learn them, empower myself with them, and even become stronger in understanding them instead of being afraid of them. And you know, sometimes we're going to get gifts that we don't understand. We don't understand the meaning, and some of them are pretty hard and pretty painful, and you know, and you might be sitting there thinking, well, why do I have this? What is the purpose of this? Sometimes it's because, you know, I really don't have a good answer, so I'll give you what I would consider my textbook answer. Sometimes it's because you're the one strong enough to handle it, and all of the stuff that might come along with it. When we see bad things happening to people or to ourselves, and then the aftermath of what that happens. And yeah, you may feel like it's unfair that you have to carry the load, but I would say that you are never given more than you can handle, even if it feels like it. But just remember, if you are one of those people, you have a right, every right, to take a beat, to take a moment, and just take a deep breath. You're allowed to rest. Okay, so other things that make me feel happy to be alive, my family and friends. You know, waking up every morning. You know, I'm not happy with the pain in my back, but, you know, I know what makes me happy about it is that I know that I'm in tune to myself, and I know that there are a lot of just stored up emotions in that base where the pain is. And I know that as I release all of that, and I'm really working hard at doing that today, as I release all of that, I'm releasing all this stuff that I don't need to hang on to anymore. It's baggage. It's baggage. You know, I'm this healing journey I've been on makes me happy. Although this is a hard day for me. I mean, you know, I say it's a hard day for me, but really, after you lose somebody, it just comes in waves. There really is no specific day. But today is the day my mother died. And I guess it's just one of those things that's just all these memories come back from that day. But I'm grateful that I got to talk to her before she passed. I'm grateful that we had the talk to, you know, to leave nothing unsaid. I'm grateful that, you know, when I got to my parents' house and I sat down and just held my mom's hand, that for the briefest moment, and I don't know if she did this with anybody else. I don't know if she woke up for anybody else when they sat with her. But when I sat with her, She just, I felt her squeeze my hand. I was like, oh, okay. And like I said, on Friday, she just opened her eyes and said, I love you, babe, but what are you doing here? And I didn't know what to say. I just said, I love you too, and I'll let Dad answer that. And then she went back to sleep. Or into her coma. And like I said, I don't know if she woke up for anybody else. But she left that message with me. And maybe just whatever it was that took that much energy to do that. I'm grateful for that. That makes me feel happy to be alive. My parents brought me into this world. My parents had to go through a horrible waiting period with a surgery I had to have. And this makes me feel alive. There are so many things out there that can make us feel alive, but we have to open our eyes to see it. We have to push through that muck and that grime and that bullshit and the just the crap in order to see that. We have to push through our trauma. We have to push through our pain. Is it easy? Fuck no. It's not easy. It hurts like shit. It hurts like hell. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. My father grieves in his own way, and I grieve in my own way. And I'll be honest, I really was hoping to lean on him. But when I thought about it, it's like, was that really fair of me to ask that? I mean, he lost his wife of over 40 years. So it wasn't fair of me to ask that of him. And I think I just realized that right now. So I need to forgive myself for that. But see, I'm happy that I did this show today because that's something I needed to learn. I'm an only child. I talk about baby sibling and older sibling, but older sibling is my best friend. She's my soul sister. Baby sibling is my soul sister and my cousin. And the way I see it now is that, I was there for him as much as I could be, my dad. But I'm happy knowing how loved my mother was and still is. That, this pain that is in my heart is because I had the opportunity to love somebody that much. We had our ups and downs. We had a lot of issues. But in the long run, she's still my mom. And I would choose both of my parents again in the next life. As an only child, I was very, very attached to my parents. So I guess that's why I just figured, when my dad said we're two peas in the pod, that, we were two peas and we were going to get each other through it. But we grieve very differently. My father growing up had to learn how to kind of compartmentalize things, or just let it roll right off of him and move forward because he didn't have the greatest parents. I know other people, and they know who they are, that did not have the greatest parents, who still struggle with them today. And I should be lucky that I don't have any struggles with my dad. I think all these struggles I thought I had are all made up in my head. Sometimes I guess it just requires more effort on my part. And maybe that's what that card meant. I have to take accountability for my own actions. And as strange as it sounds, that makes me happy to be alive. All the things that are around us, the roof over our head, the money in your bank account, no matter how much or how little you have, the car outside if you have one, the transportation you may have, all the tools that you use in life, those should make you happy to be alive. We can give the standard answer of, oh, well, I just got a brand new car, so that makes me so happy to be alive. But there's more to it than material things when it comes to happiness and joy. What do you feel in here? If you put down, well, I'm so happy and grateful that I got this brand new purse. Why? Because it made you feel good in the moment? Of course. And every time you look at it, you're going to say, hey, I earned that. I can honestly say this for Sissy Joe. When she got her favorite Louis Vuitton bag, she loved that thing to the end. Okay? She loved that bag to the end, and she knew how hard she worked for it. And it made her happy. But it was still just an object. And you could still see the sadness sometimes. You could see the loneliness sometimes. And So I think that's why sometimes it's about going deeper. It's about really, really kind of sitting down, buckling down, and saying, what is it that truly, truly brings me joy? I'm grateful for my sisters. I'm grateful for my friends. They make me happy to be alive. My cousins make me happy to be alive. My cousin Jeannie sent me a nice message this morning. It came up in her memories about my mom. And my friend Heidi, we went through this together. She lost her mom at the beginning of the summer. I lost my mother at the end in the same year. And a lot of stories that tie into 2014 and hers and my journey. And we send each other gifts every year, just little simple things. Sometimes, last year she bought me it was either last year or the year before, I think it was last year, she got me a bottle opener. And it's a pirate, and the corkscrew part of this little gadget, it would be his peg leg, right? And it was the funniest thing. And sometimes our gifts arrive late, but they always seem to arrive on the days that we need it the most. And today I'm doing okay. So I know that when I get it, it's going to be like, oh, okay, this is hilarious. But it's a hard journey to go through, and I'm grateful that I didn't have to go through it alone. I had older sibling, I had baby sibling, and I had somebody who had recently lost their mother and who was going through the fresh pain of it all. Older sibling has lost both of her parents and her stepmom. And that doesn't negate what her helping me through that, and baby sibling just trying to empathize and be compassionate and check in on me and make sure I was okay. But to have my friend Heidi there, who was fresh in her pain, it was oddly comforting. Not that I wanted us to go through this together, but it was comforting to not go through it alone. And I hope that I was able to do the same for her, because the truth is, when my mom got her diagnosis, we all knew she was going to die. They gave her 6 months to 2 years. I literally looked at older sibling and said, she's going to be gone before fall. And she was. Unfortunately, that's one of my gifts. Sometimes I just know things. But, what is that line? I drink wine and I know things. I drink wine and I know things. Yeah, today's a something harder day. Wine's not going to be strong enough. But, oh God, there's my back. But anyways, I know this feels like it's veering off in 9 different directions, but just I'm also on a pain pill, so hi scatterbrain. But I'm holding on to something for dear life right now. Anyway, when you answer the question, what things make you happy to feel alive, I really, really want you to put some thought into it. I really, really want you to not just say the first thing that comes to your head, but to really kind of look around. Even if you don't answer the question right away, really look around, really just kind of think about the question. It's always easy to say the first thing off the top of our head. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for, like maybe you're dating someone. I'm grateful for the person I'm dating. I'm grateful for the person that's my best friend. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my pets, my little fur babies. It's always easy to say those things, I have to say, this is going to sound weird. We're humans. We inevitably want to be in a partnership of, a romantic relationship. I want that for myself. But until that happens, I'm actually grateful that I'm single. I know that sounds weird. That doesn't mean I don't want a partner. I do. I would like to find my person in this world. But in the meantime, for the amount of time I've been single, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about people. I've learned how to really kind of harness my gifts. I've learned so much, and I've learned how to function in a healthy relationship. I haven't had one to test that out on, But I think one of the things that holds me back from finding my person or connecting with my person is the fact that I think I've always been afraid. But I see someone who's very close to me that's in a relationship, and the person they're dating is very, very open about their emotions. They're very, very their communication is very, very good. And this person that they're dating has really kind of opened my eyes and made me realize that when you are with somebody that cares about you, you can be open and they will be patient and understand. They will probably help guide you through. The person I know is guiding this person through, and I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. So even though I put my equipment on Do Not Disturb, I have to share this because this is the funniest freaking thing in the world. Every year, okay, every year, I always send my dad extra hugs on the 12th. And every year he would text me back and says, "Why do we keep thinking it's the 13th?" Oh, let's just say my dad was a little worse for wear the day my mom passed away, and I think his first coherent day was actually the 13th. So, the text message just came through, so I apologize for that, but I had to share that because it's the funniest thing. It's like, every year and every year I get the same text back because it dawns on him. It's like, oh, right, wait, oh, why do I keep these? Then he's like, why can't I ever get the date right? Because I think it's meant to make us laugh. How lucky we are to have had someone that we miss so much in our lives. You know, it's painful when we lose people. It is. But I can't remember the exact quote. It was a Winnie the Pooh quote or A.A. Milne, whichever way you want to put it. But it really is true. Like I said, I can't remember the quote exactly, but I just remember the gist of it and how lucky we are to have someone that we miss so much. And, like I said, I've aired a lot of the dirty laundry because I share my story to help other people heal theirs. Going through these self-love lessons, I share what I think. Not because it's about me. It's not about me. But it's because I really want people to think. My purpose in this world is to help spread a light. To awaken people to their light. So that we can, rebalance this world. We can, put positivity out there without being made fun. I was made fun of a lot when I would post positive stuff. But I don't fucking care anymore. What I do on my media, I do on my media. If other people don't like it, that's their problem. But I see so much more positive feedback than negative feedback. And that makes me happy to feel alive. Because now I know my purpose. I have a lot of purposes. I can get rid of bad things. I know. I'm just like spewing everything out here today, aren't I? But, like I said, I know this is a little bit all over the place, but this whole post really is about the happiness and joy. You can find happiness and joy in anything. In anything. And I've had to learn all these lessons. I've had to learn all these things. And even just talking to you now, I've learned a lot. I've learned that when we open ourselves and we open our heart and the right person enters it, that good things can happen. Because the person I knew, they were ready to just kind of like throw in the towel, I think. And just be like, no, I'm just done. And then all of a sudden this person just poofs into their life. Like literally out of nowhere. And they're building something. And it's beautiful to watch. And, yeah, we get those things where it's like, yeah, well, I'm still sitting over here really, really single. But then you stop and think, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm exactly where I need to be in exactly this moment. And it's hard to admit that sometimes you feel jealous of other people, but I don't want to feel jealous anymore. I don't want to feel envy anymore. I don't want to feel like I'm not worthy of being happy. I don't want to feel like I'm not worthy of of joy. I am. I am. And the only person holding me back is me. I'm so focused on everybody else and what they're doing that I keep forgetting to live my own life. You know? I mean, that's how some of the best things start. They just start with a surprise. My parents met because my dad's brother was engaged to my mom's best friend. And they were both in on R&R in Hawaii. And my dad basically got set up with my mom. And, you know, long story short, they had, sorry, I'm thinking, 47, my math today is, they had 47 good years. Yeah, they had 47 good years ago because I was 41 when my mom passed away. Yeah, they took that long to have me. Seriously, talk about a honeymoon phase. It was like a 6-year honeymoon phase. But my dad was shipped out a lot, so that's why. But he was in the army. But yeah, long story short, you just never know. All right. So if you're like me and you're out there and you're like the old me and you're like, why am I so single? I hate being single. Just stop it. Because the more you put that out there, the more you're bringing it to yourself. Just put out there that you deserve to be loved and you deserve joy and happiness. And then just let whatever is going to happen, happen. Let that wheel turn so that it can bring your person to you. You know, it's kind of like we were watching, Sibling and I were watching TCM last night. And they have this great Charlie Chaplin clip. I love Charlie Chaplin. And, but to be honest with you, my favorite silent movie star is actually Buster Keaton. He's my favorite. But, they had it where he was fixing, like, these gears. And you can just see him winding through. That's life. We wind through the gears, and then we stop, and then we fix things, and then we keep moving until we wind back to the other end. You just have to go with the flow. Okay? That is the biggest thing that should make you happy to feel alive. You are breathing. You got out of bed. Even if that's all you do today, breathe, eat, get out of bed, do whatever else you need to do. That should make you happy. Because you get to make the decisions in your day. You get to make the choices. You get to decide the energy you are going to put in the world. And you get to decide the love and the joy that you are going to put in the world. And when you start to do that, it's going to start to reciprocate. The universe, your higher powers, your source, they're going to start to reciprocate because your energy is going to change. When we have negative energy and we have negative thoughts running around, we put up these invisible shields that we don't even realize are there. And I've been walking around with one. I thought I tore down my walls, which I did. But then I put up these invisible shields. So that's that. All right. I'm a little excited, guys, because next week, I am not sure there is going to be a perspective on Friday. I know. Sorry. I am leaving for Colorado on Friday for a week. And so next week, I'll try to do, depending on the weather, I'll try to do some outdoor perspectives. I think that'd be pretty fun. But yeah, I will do my best. If not, maybe I'll do one in the evening. Oh yeah, maybe I'll do like an evening Aloha perspective where you can see well, it gets a little cold there, but unlike here, it has weather. Colorado has weather. But I'm looking forward to it. It's my aunt's 90th birthday next week, so I'm super duper excited about that. And that makes me feel happy to be alive. She is like the mayor of her town, and she's going to be 90. So, you know what? It's all perspective. It's all perspective. So, go out there today. Figure out what things make you happy to feel alive. And like I said, don't just pick some random thing. I mean, if it's a mug, maybe it's a mug that has a story, right? This has a story. This is one of my favorite cups. I have a Colorado one too, but this has a story. And, everything that we touch, this has a story. It's my little gratitude rock that says you got this. And this morning I was using it for, to crush up some incense and stuff. And then when I put it back down, I didn't realize I turned it over. but it says hope. And I recently just found this rock again, but I was with Sissy Joe when I found that. It was one of our fun days, and it was just sitting randomly in the middle of the road. So I asked nature, I took it, and bam. And so it has a memory for me. You know, they're not just random things, they have memories. And I think that's what we need to feel happy about being alive for. And everything else that you can come up with, ask yourself why. Figure out the story behind it. Okay, so I know I'm not supposed to apologize because I don't want baby sibling to come through the screen and just pop me one. But I do apologize for this being a bit disjointed. Like I said, I am going through some massive emotional back pain. I know it's not physical. I know it's emotional. And I know that might not be in everybody's wheelhouse. So, you know, just take it for what it is. But, like I said, I'm also on a pain med, so I'm a little loopy. So, but I knew the show had to go on. I knew the show had to go on today, even though it was disjointed, even though it felt like it was all over the place, because I think it is super duper important for us to remember that even in our most painful moments, there is something to be happy about when it comes to being alive. You know, I'm not just in the emotional pain with my back, but my heart hurts today because my mom's gone. And it's a day seared into my mind. Not just because of her passing, but because I saw how broken my dad was that day. He'd probably say I wasn't broken, but he was. He took that day to just, you know, fall apart before he put himself back together. And I saw it. I had to witness that. And it wasn't easy. You know, it's his loss is so different from mine. I lost my mother. He lost his partner in life. He lost his wife. You know, they were supposed to grow old together. I mean, they used to always joke that my dad would be the first one to go. And here was my mom, you know, retired for 6 years. And, you know, she was only 64, I believe. Sorry, my math again. I mean, it's yeah, she was 66. But, sorry, I'm doing my math. You know, it's hard when your brain is all fuzzy, but she was 66. Sorry. So yeah, but you know, it just, I think maybe that's the other thing that kind of hurt, was to see that. And I don't think I ever really let myself think about that until now. And it was hard because I really couldn't grieve because I was taking care of somebody else. And so my grieving really kind of started the next day. And it's okay. I would do the same thing. If time looped, I wouldn't change a thing. Because I see the difference, you know. I've always known the difference when you're grieving a spouse versus a parent. But, and believe it or not, there is. A lot of people will say, there's no difference, it still hurts. Yeah, it's still, you're both fucking hurting, okay? It hurts like hell, and it hurts like shit, because there's so many things that you want this parent to be there to see, that you're going to accomplish and you're going to do in your life, and they're gone. But you know what? You still got somebody else. You still got that other person. So be happy. Be happy about that. Try to push through the trauma and the pain. Try to heal it. Give yourself the compassion, the empathy, the grace, the courtesy of finding your way through. It's easy to just sit in our pain, and it's easy to wallow there, and it's easy to sit and wallow there forever. But you don't have to. You have that choice. And so, again, that's why I'm glad that today's, even though it was supposed to be last week's lesson, like baby sibling said, everything happens for a reason, and it happens the way it's meant to happen. And I truly believe that this lesson was meant to happen today because, you know, I've shown you where I'm at, but I'm still finding the joy in today. Because again, how lucky I was to have someone I miss so much. And that's where my gratitude sits. I'm grateful for the mother I had. You know, I'm grateful for my father being very persistent. He says it was love at first sight. My mom, I think it was, but my mom could be very closed off sometimes, and I just think she was afraid. Because when I did talk to her later, I used to ask her, I said, was it love at first sight? No. But then when I asked her later, when I asked her, I said, are you sure it wasn't love at first sight? She actually said to me, I did fall in love with him as quickly as, she didn't say it as quickly as he did. So I fell in love with him when I met him. That very first, she's our first date. But I was so afraid I would lose him that I just kind of closed myself off to it. Fortunately, like I said, my dad's persistent. So, ta-da, here I am today. So, that makes me happy to feel alive that they connected. But I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to everybody that was involved in all of that. I love how much they loved each other. And I love how much they love each other still. I know my mom. I can feel her around my dad. And I know, he won't be open about it, but I know he misses her and he loves her and he's living his life. And I'm so proud of him for doing that, because they always talked about that. Don't stop living if I'm gone. They would have these hard talks and it would come out as jokey, but like them joking with each other, but I knew they meant it. Don't stop living when I'm gone. And I'm grateful that my father is still living. I'm grateful that he has the chutzpah to be able to do it. So instead of wallowing in all the ways that I felt I should have been, able to grieve, I'm going to take this moment and feel happy that I'm alive, that my father's still alive, and that, I'm going to take a page out of his book. I'm just going to live. It's time to do that. It's time to see all the beautiful things around us, all the lovely, wonderful things around us, to let go of all that anger, the sadness, the pain. The grief is always going to be there. You are going to learn how to live with it, no matter what it is, whether you're grieving the loss of someone, a job, a relationship, a business. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. I had that, like I said, in a bunch of other perspectives. I had to tattoo it onto myself just to make sure I remembered. Ho'omau. Ho'omau is perseverance. Keep moving forward. Keep going. That's where the happiness is. That's where the joy is. And it's in the journey. Even when the journey hurts, be happy to be alive. Be happy that you were on this journey, because you know what? You are going to come out the other side and you're going to look back and you're going to want to high five yourself, because you're like, fuck, I did that. I literally did that. You may feel like you were pushing the train up the hill yourself from the back end, but you know what? Just keep doing, right? Like Casey Jr. from Dumbo. I think I can. And then, what was it when he goes over the hill? I knew I could. It's on, and even Dumbo, right? I mean, Dumbo's such a great example. Made fun of, tripping over his ears, but look, he saved the day. And he became a star. And he's so cute. And he's siblings' favorite, and shit, it is hard to find Dumbo stuff, but to buy for people. But anyways, I'm here I go. Woo! I'm flying off into different directions. But as crazy as some of those examples may seem, and as dark and sad as some of them might seem, be grateful you're alive. If you've lost somebody, be grateful for how much you loved them and the time that you had them in your life. It's not easy, I know. And it's going to hurt and it's going to be painful. But we're still breathing, and that's what they want. They want us to live our life. Okay? So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I could ramble all day on this stuff. But tomorrow will be lesson number 13. Oh, that'll be an interesting one. So I had to read ahead because I knew this was coming up sooner or later. So yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I don't want to give it away. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day today, guys. Please take care of yourselves. Send good vibes to my back, please. Yeah, I'm tired of it. This has been 2 weeks now. So yeah, but I think I've made a lot of headway. So thank you also for bearing with me, because I had a few of my own epiphanies in this perspective, and I think that's why I was also meant to do it, because I want to show people that your healing and your thoughts and the things that just make you go, often come when you're just talking to people. Know the signs, hear the signs, see the signs. Okay? And remember, find something more than just material things to be happy about. It's okay if you want to be happy about material things, because yeah, we earn a lot of these things. My laptop, I've had this laptop for like 8 or 9 years now, and I'm telling you, this bad boy is my favorite thing, one of my favorite things in the whole world. I worked hard for it. And I'm so happy and grateful that it's served me well. It's about to be obsolete in about 4 months, but because of the operating system and technology, but you know what? I love it. And if I can figure out how to upgrade it, I will. So that's one of the things that are material things that I'm grateful for. Big Red is what I name all my stuff. So anyways, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching and literally bearing with me today and hanging in there. Please take care of yourselves, okay? Find something you are super duper happy about, and I will see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Facebook Live. It's under Shelly Marie Lucas. Anybody can watch, okay? We do not need to be Facebook friends, or you can catch the replay on my Facebook page, The Aloha Perspective, or if you're on YouTube, you can go to YouTube under The Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas, and you can also click and subscribe. Hit the little bell, right? So you can be notified when I post these things. If you're new, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday are usually subjects. Right now we're doing 30 lessons of self-love. Wednesday is always self-care Wednesday. And Friday is Oracle Friday for those of you that like to step into the metaphysical and get some spirit messages. Okay, so again, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.